It's a big week for holiday travel. More than 115 million people in the U.S. are expected to travel at least 50 miles during the Christmas and New Year's holidays. That's according to AAA. Now, if you're driving this Saturday or next Thursday, the 28th, and Saturday, December 30th, those will be the busiest days. Taking a live look right now at Reagan National Airport at 6 o'clock. Looks pretty quiet there. AAA says airports are expected to be the busiest, though, that they have ever been, with 7.5 million people to fly over the next 2 weeks. Our Jess Arnold is live inside DCA this morning. Let's see if it's really quiet, Jess. You reported live at the airports for Thanksgiving travel in our last hour. Not too many delays. In fact, I think there was just one. How are things comparing so far?
Yeah, compared to that, I was checking right before we came on the air here. Still just that one delay, but it is certainly not quiet inside DCA. You can see these lines have substantially increased since we last checked in about an hour ago. And compared to the Thanksgiving season, this looks a little bit busier to me anecdotally, at least at this hour at 6 a.m. So I don't know if that just means there are more travelers for Christmas and the other holidays around this time of the year, or if they are just trying to get out earlier, beat those rushes, because the trade group Airlines for America says that tomorrow is expected to be the busiest day at airports. So maybe these folks got smart and decided to come out here early. But last year, who can forget Southwest's meltdown of cancellations and delays? Since then, the Department of Transportation has set up a dashboard you can check to make sure you know your rights if you experience any cancellations or delays. We have a graphic here to show you that some of the highlights I saw on that dashboard that all airlines on the site are committing to, if there are what they call controllable cancellations, are rebooking passengers on the same airline at no additional cost, meal vouchers if a cancellation results in a passenger waiting 3 or more hours for a new flight, and most will give hotel accommodations if there are overnight cancellations. Now, one thing that none of them have committed to doing, though, including Southwest, is offering cash compensation for cancellations. Again, last year was a different story. I was at BWI in Reagan all week covering the aftermath of Southwest's debacle. This week, the DOT announced millions of dollars in fines to Southwest, and Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg spoke about what he's expecting to see this time around.
We may see some bad weather impacting travel around Christmas and New Year's. FAA is working closely with airlines to plan for that possibility.
Now, Secretary Buttigieg did share some encouraging stats. He said around the Thanksgiving travel season, they only saw less than 1% of flight cancellations, and he said that that is the lowest cancellation rate that we've seen in 5 years. So here is hoping that that trend continues, and I am not back here after I get back from my holiday travels talking about another mess with these airlines. Annie?
I hope not, Jess. Thanks so much for that update. Now, the important takeaway here is you have to be your own advocate. And I've posted a link to the airline customer service dashboard over at my Facebook page. Be sure to look at it before you fly, or just, refer back to it if you're traveling, so that you know what your airline is required to do for you. I also looked up some other tips from travel experts. So I think you do this, Wiz. You book your flights early in the morning.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it gives you a little more cushion.
When I came back from Atlanta, I had to get on the first thing smoking coming out of Atlanta, because you have all day to, if something happens, to regroup.
Right, and if something like weather related happens, they say you always want to check to see if your airline offers weather waivers, and it allows you to change your flight at no cost. I know Southwest offers it, Delta offers it, but again, just gives you a little more cushion in case something happens.
Knowledge is power, especially when you're traveling during this time of the year.
I always go for those nonstop.
That's another one of my keys. Nonstop only, I'll pay extra.